Rico! My brother was dragged underwater by a demon! There are many strange legends of the Amazon. Even I, Lucas, have heard the legend of the man-fish. Hi, I'm Bobby, and welcome to Dusty Old Movies. While Dracula is my number one, ever since I was little, the creature from the Black Lagoon has been my second favorite monster. In fact, for my last birthday, my friend Katie, who I'll be killing later in the video, got me this autographed picture by Julie Adams and the creature himself, Rico Browning. So I am totally in the mood to go back to the Black Lagoon and see the monster who always makes a big splash. One night, producer William Allen was at a dinner party with Orson Welles, his girlfriend Dolores Del Rio, and the Mexican cinematographer Gabriel Figueroa. Gabriel Figueroa began telling the group the true story, according to him, of a strange half-man, half-fish who lives in the Amazon River. And once a year, he goes to the village to claim a maiden. And then the village is safe for another year. For some strange reason, no one believed him. But he kept insisting that it was true, and he could show him a picture. Despite his disbelief, this story captured William Allen's imagination, and years later, when he was working at Universal, it gave him the inspiration for Creature from the Black Lagoon. In the 1930s and 40s, Universal was the premier horror studio, making films featuring spooky, yet sympathetic monsters. But by the 1950s, Gothic horror was out, and science fiction was in. The heroes were now intelligent scientists, and the monsters were aliens, giant bugs, and a variety of other weird creatures, many of whom were now able to literally jump off of the screen in the new and popular gimmick of 3D. But the Creature from the Black Lagoon would be something different. It would be the first 3D movie ever shot underwater. The film was divided into two units. The above-water scenes were filmed at the Universal back lot by Jack Arnold, and they featured the hulking 6'5" Ben Chapman as the creature. The underwater scenes were filmed in the well-preserved Wakulla Springs in Florida, with swim doubles for the cast, a new type of 3D camera that had two small cameras in a watertight box, and the underwater performer Rico Browning as the creature. When the film from both units was put together, a new and final classic Universal monster was born. Dr. Carl Maia discovers a strange fossil from the Devonian era, linking land and sea animals. So himself, Dr. David Reed, the good guy scientist, his scientist girlfriend, Kayla Lawrence, the greedy scientist Mark, and several others go on an expedition into the Amazon to find the rest of the skeleton. At first they are unsuccessful, but Lucas, the captain of the Rita, takes them into the Black Lagoon, where they encounter a living gill man. The scientists want to capture the gill man, but the gill man begins terrorizing the group, and he falls in love with Kay. Will the gill man get his mate? Will the scientists escape? Can anyone survive the Creature from the Black Lagoon? The story of an expedition discovering a monster is a little generic, but what sets this film apart is the atmosphere. Director Jack Arnold wanted to create an atmosphere of impending dread, exploiting the fear of the unknown. And he does this by totally engulfing you in the Amazon River and the Black Lagoon. We see the Amazon above and below the surface in this otherworldly underwater photography. We hear the sounds of the animals, we see them, and we hear their characters vividly talk about them. Even the animals grow as they did in the Devonian forest. The anteater is a giant with the strength of a bear. The centipede grows to be 1 foot long. The Amazonian rat is as big as a sheep. And don't forget our catfish. They grow to be 9 feet long and killers. Just like everything in this jungle. All killers. It sounds like a real-life Jurassic Park with a predator around every corner. Not only is it creepy, but among the 9-foot killer catfish, a gill man seems quite believable. While they're building up the setting, they also build up the creature. They keep him hidden early on, building your anticipation. There's one really spooky creature attack scene where you can't see him, but you get an idea of his strength, and you occasionally see shots of his hand, so you know he's always around, which creates suspense. Later on, it's one fun creature attack scene after the other, but it's that atmosphere that makes you believe it. Also making you believe the story are the characters, especially the Gill Man.
Rats the size of sheep and 9-foot catfish sounds perfect for a swim.
The Gill Man is a half man, half fish from the Devonian era. He's amphibious and can breathe in and out of water, perfect for killing people, and he's the only one left of his species. Although the character is a product of science fiction, just like Frankenstein and the Wolfman, he's every bit a classic universal monster. He has an amazing look, with the scales, webbed claws, and amphibious head, which was designed by artist Millicent Patrick. Out of the water, he's strong and unstoppable. And underwater, he's fast and can appear out of nowhere, making him a very threatening and exciting monster. However, he's also a sympathetic one when he falls in love with Kay, which is shown through this beautiful and sexually suggestive scene of Kay swimming on top, and without her knowing, the creature swimming beneath her. You feel for him. He's lonely, the last of his kind. She's beautiful, especially in that risque bathing suit. And he is half man. And it gives the creature heart and personality. So he's not just a killing machine, or, a man in a suit. Making his affection even more understandable is the performance by Julie Adams. Her Kay is an intelligent, understanding, and charming female scientist. And when she's not being attacked by monsters, she's actually an independent woman, making her a unique and memorable scream queen. The final character who I really love is Lucas, played by Nestor Palva. Lucas is the captain of the Rita. He may not be as smart as a scientist, but he knows his boat, the Amazon, and the Black Lagoon. I can tell you something about this place. The boys around here call it the Black Lagoon, a paradise. Only they say no one's come back to prove it. He's genuinely endearing and funny, but he's a tough guy too. And when Mark is telling him what to do, Lucas pulls a knife on him. His colorful character brings a sense of fun and improves the movie. Also improving the movie is its social commentary. Like a lot of good science fiction, the film has some social commentary, specifically a pro-environmentalist theme. The film continuously shows the scientists treating the environment badly, and it's an example of how not to act. Mark wants to kill the Gill Man, the only one of its kind, and David has to keep telling him that they can learn more from it being alive. Mark, you don't sound like a scientist, you sound like a big game hunter. Kay tosses her cigarette into the Black Lagoon, and the Gill Man seems to notice. Also, the scientists put poison in the water to knock out the Gill Man, and as a side effect, they knock out all the fish. It's after they do all this when the creature really lets them have it, and it shows that when you mess with the environment, there are repercussions. And it adds to the intellectual value of the film. But what makes it work so well is it also adds to the entertainment value. It gives conflict between Mark and David, so there's some drama during the non-creature scenes. And by having them put cigarettes and poison in the Black Lagoon, it gives you more sympathy for the creature, because it's his home and his ecosystem that they're messing with. No wonder he wants to kill him. They could be endangering his survival. The creature from the Black Lagoon made a big splash at the box office, and the Gill Man became a pop culture icon. He was in 2 sequels, he made television appearances, and he's heavily referenced in the Marilyn Monroe classic, The 7-Year Itch.
Didn't you just love the picture? But I felt so sorry for the creature in the end.
What did you want him to do, marry the girl? The creature from the Black Lagoon has also influenced other films, including the 1975 classic Jaws. Notice the similarities in shot composition. As for monster fans, the creature is on the same pedestal as Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and all the others. There's a monstrous amounts of merchandise, and the occasional talk of a remake. If we ever do get a remake, I don't know how they're going to top the original. When they made it, it was just another B-horror film, but everything about it was top-notch. So I give it 4 risque bathing suits out of 4. And I'd like to give a special recommendation. Although it's great in 2D, if you have a chance, see it in 3D, either in a theater or if you have a 3D TV, the Blu-ray has a 3D option. It adds even more to the atmosphere I talked about earlier. So, thank you for watching Dusty Old Movies, and have a splashtastic day!